What does it actually take to build not one successful business, but 5 across completely different industries over 3 decades? I sat down with Ronnie Screwvala, and his answers were nothing like I expected. Hi, I'm Avan Dabash, and I have spent 16 years as a business news anchor. And in that time, I have been fortunate enough to sit with some of the most extraordinary entrepreneurs, builders, and business minds in India. The ones who did not just succeed, but the ones that kept reinventing themselves and succeeding again and again. Ronnie Screwvala is in a category of his own, and I recently had the kind of conversation with him, a closed door event that reminded me exactly why I spent 16 years asking people those hard questions. So in this video, I'm going to be talking about the counterintuitive principles that Ronnie lives by and that most people get completely backwards. I'll also tell you the skill that he says separates the founders from those who make it, from those who don't. And it has nothing to do with strategy. It's got nothing to do with funding. I'll also share what he said is one of the hardest decisions that any founder ever has to make. And at the end, I will tell you the one thing he said about teams that I think every single leader, not just a founder, needs to hear. So let's get started. So for those of you who don't know the full arc, let me give you the version that still will not do him justice. Ronnie Screwvala actually started out in the world of manufacturing. Then he moved into cable TV in the 1980s when India had exactly one television channel, and almost no one believed that this medium actually had a commercial future. He then went on to build UTV into one of India's most powerful media and entertainment companies. He then sold it to Disney in $1 billion deal. Then, instead of stepping back, he moved forward. Education via Upgrad, venture investing via Uniblazer, sports, storytelling again with RSVP movies, and through all of this, the Swadesh Foundation, rural development work that he actually describes as the most important thing he does. His net worth is over 12,800 crore rupees, and he is only building it consistently. So the first thing he said was don't have a plan B. And I'm really thinking about this one. His reasoning is deceptively simple. When you have that fallback, you will figure it out. But the moment you give yourself an exit, you take it. And in that moment, something in you quietly gives up before the real fight has even begun. He said he's watched enough founders very up close to know that this is actually correct. The hunger that drives extraordinary outcomes does not coexist with a very comfortable alternative. Be a problem spotter, not just a problem solver. That is the framing that I have never heard before. And it's one that really stayed and had a huge impact. Now we know that anyone can actually solve a problem. We know that when it's sitting in front of you. That's operational competence. But the rare skill, the one that actually builds industries, is seeing the problem before the market has even named it. It is before your competition has noticed it, before the consumer has even articulated it. That is what Ronnie Screwvala did for cable TV in the 1980s. That is what he did in digital education. He spotted the gap before everyone was actually fighting over it. And that is called problem spotting. And it is so different from problem solving. Resilience is literal, not metamorphical. So now he was very clear about this. Resilience is not a motivational concept. It is literally what is separating the founders from those who make it from the ones who don't. And this definition of resilience was actually quite interesting. It is not about being completely unaffected. It is about the gap between the fall and the response. Shrink that gap. It is the actual skill. Don't be invulnerable. Be fast to recover. Over-communicate your message. Now, when it comes to building teams, what he said is that it is important to over-communicate your message. Not once, but constantly. Because if your team doesn't know what they're running toward, then they're just running. And an effort without direction is energy that is actually going to work against you. And he has watched this with companies. They do not not die from bad strategy, but from the founder assuming that the team shares their vision when they completely do not. Recalibrate through the worst case. Now, one of the most practical things that he actually shared was that when fear takes over, it actually sits with the worst case scenario. Not to frighten yourself, but to realize that it's usually survivable. When you look at your worst case in the eye and you understand that you can actually make it through to the other side, fear will lose its grip. And then you can think clearly again. And then he laughed and he added that a little humor also helps, which honestly actually says something about how he's carrying 30 years of building. Know when to let go. Sometimes knowing when to actually step back, knowing who should actually be running your company is one of the hardest calls that a founder will ever make. And the ones who can't make it, they become the ceiling on their own companies. So ego is actually the biggest enemy of this decision. He said it so plainly, and in my experience in covering the startup world, I think that it has happened exactly as he has described. The fundamentals that sound simple but aren't. So do not build your company to sell your company. Be frugal. Create values before you think about wealth creation. Now, these sound like things that you'd actually embroider on a cushion, but from someone who's actually done it, who's been there, done that, across decades, across industries, they land so differently. For unicorns, he actually said this. He's not interested in that conversation. Put your head down. Do not work on the labels. Do the actual work. The labels will follow the output. And if they don't follow, the work still matters. So the last thing, and this I think is one of the most important, he said build a culture where people genuinely feel that ownership. Don't be so empathetic that there are absolutely no standards for what your company stands for. Both halves of that sentence matter equally. And find people who will push back on you, people who will disagree, people who will challenge your thinking, not people who are just yes men who agree with everything that you say. Because if everyone around you agrees, you have stopped learning. And a founder who stops learning has already started losing. They just don't know it yet. This conversation with Ronnie Screwvala was so grounded. There was no fluff, there was no performance. It was just someone who had actually gone ahead and built things repeatedly across decades. And he was sharing with us what he knows to be true. And I felt the need to share it because I felt that a lot of you need to hear it. Whether you are someone who is starting out, whether you are a founder, whether you're aspiring to be one, whether you're leading a team or leading a company. And I really hope that you enjoyed this lesson and this conversation. Do remember to like, share, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. I'm Avan Dabash. I'll see you in the next one.